Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking all about how to turn your resin hobby into a business, so grab a cup of tea and let's go through it together. So I actually have a whole page of scribbles that I wrote down when I was planning out this video, so if this video is a little bit chaotic, please don't worry, hopefully you'll get something from it. So if you don't already know, I run my own business called Stand Together UK, which has technically been going since 2018. I've only really started pushing it in the past couple of years though, so I feel like I've learned a lot along the way and hopefully I'll be able to help you guys out as well. So yeah, let's go through some of the points. The first thing I want to say is you don't know unless you try. It really is so scary putting yourself out there, and I think sometimes we stop ourselves, you know, we build up these limiting beliefs within ourselves that, you know, kind of build almost like a fear wall. But what if it doesn't go right? Like, what if this, what if that, but what if it goes good? Try and turn those limiting beliefs around, because you just don't know, it might turn out amazing. When I started my business, I never expected it to go anywhere. I just did it for fun, and then it grew, and as it grew I got more confident within it. And you know, self-belief is really important, and although it's scary putting yourself out there, what's scarier is the thought that you could be missing out because you're too scared to take that next step. So definitely go for it if you're thinking about doing that. I would say something that's really important when turning your hobby into a business is brand awareness. Like, what do you want your brand to stand for? What do you want it to mean? A lot of people these days, they don't buy into a product, they buy into a person, into a business, what they stand for, and so it's really important to get that side out of there. And now with the way that social media is working, you know, like with TikTok and Instagram, you can really show behind the scenes. We can do demold videos, you can do like resin pours are really popular, you know, like showing yourself filling up a mold and then demolding it the next day, and you can really make it about customer experience as opposed to it just being an end product, which I think is a really valuable thing that we can do these days. I would say try to focus on a couple of social media platforms. And what's great as well about these platforms now is that you can reuse your content, and it can do differently on different platforms. So for example, if I film a video and I post it to TikTok, it could get a couple hundred views, and then I repost that same video to YouTube and to Instagram, it could get many more views. So why not reuse your content if you can, you know? So that's another thing that I would recommend doing, because it is hard to keep up. It can seem really daunting when you're trying to build yourself up on every platform. You know, if you can kill two birds with one stone, really focus on one or two platforms but reuse the content for all platforms, then you're not making any more work for yourself really. So that's a really good tip as well. Make sure that you're pricing your products right. So this is something that I've really struggled with over the years. I think as an artist we naturally undervalue ourselves, and all this does is it makes it more difficult as you grow, because if people have an expectation as to what your products sell at and then you suddenly have a price rise, you know, you can lose customers that way. I think if you're struggling with how to price your items, one of the best things that you can do is search on like an e-commerce site or on Google or Etsy, like a similar product. So if you're like making coasters, what you can do is you can search on Etsy resin coasters and have a little look and do some research as to what other people sell them at, just to give you like a baseline and an idea. But definitely know your worth. Like, items that are handmade are worth more than an item that is mass produced. I would also say be generous with your audience as well. So offer a discount, offer a giveaway. A thing that I do with customers is I'll pack a parcel and then I'll pop a discount code exclusively to customers that have ordered through my store, and that way it entices them to buy again. So you can do little things to help bring back customers as well, especially in the resin world where a lot of items are one-off items. But you want to be, if you're growing as a business, you want people to come back and buy from you again and trust you as a brand. I would also say as a resin business, there's loads of different techniques to use when working with resin, but don't try to be like everybody else. Find a technique or find a mold or find something that you do really well and that you love. If you're too busy trying to copy what everybody else is doing, you're not going to stand out. So find colours that you love, find a technique that works really well for you, and really work with that. I would say start with a handful of products or projects. Don't just build up a huge catalogue of items that's going to become unmanageable, but actually just, if you do a few items really well, then that's going to help build you up as well. Packaging is everything. A lot of people like to see packaging as an experience and make a customer feel good. Also, it's all about first impressions. I know as a business it's really hard in this day and age, especially now in the UK with the cost of living crisis, to try and keep your prices down as much as you possibly can. I don't gatekeep anything here, you guys know that now. I will share anything that I know that will hopefully help you guys out. And one company that I love to use for packaging is called Happy Pack. I'm not affiliated with them, I'm not paid to say any of this, but their packaging is really good quality and really low price as well. So being a brand now for a few years, I've really shopped around when it comes to packaging. They have loads of colours, they have pretty much everything that you need packaging wise for a resin business, so definitely check those out. I would also say make yourself goals, but don't make them unrealistic. Sometimes when we make goals that are too big and then we don't achieve them, that can really dishearten us. And I wrote this quote down: too many people give up without realizing how close they are to their breakthrough. And I think it's so important to think like that, because like, you can start a business or anything in life really, and then you can think, you know what, this isn't working out for me, I'm just not going to do this anymore. And you don't know that you're just a door away from the biggest opportunity of your life, or the biggest sale of your life, or getting a flood of new customers. So I know it's really hard when things are quiet. Like January has been a really stressful month for me, just talking on a personal level for a second. I'm sure you guys are aware of the Royal Mail issues in the UK and the international cyber attack issues. It's caused me huge problems, but actually it's just taught me how to do business better, and how to overcome obstacles. Yes, it's scary dealing with these kind of issues as a small business, but things can always be overcome, so don't ever let it put you off. Like, you will always become stronger for the trials that you face. I really believe that. So if you're feeling like, I'm really fed up, it's not going right, nothing is working, it doesn't mean that it's never going to work for you. It just means you've not found the right solution yet. So keep going, I really believe in you, and you've got this. I wanted to talk a little bit about Etsy, because every time we do a video like this I always get flooded with questions about Etsy, whether I recommend it or not, and what my personal thoughts are. I just want to say there is a lot about Etsy that people love, and there is a lot about Etsy that people don't love, but I'm going to talk from my personal experience, so obviously this is just like my opinion on what I think. I think Etsy is a great platform. Yes, they do have fees, but even if you set up your own website, which I also have, you still get fees because you have to set up like different transactions. So if people buy through PayPal, you're still feed as a business. If people buy through, for example, Stripe and use their debit card, then you're still feed for that as well. So it's not a case of if you have your own website, you don't have fees. It just doesn't work like that. And also, you have to see it as an investment, because if you're paying for your listings, it's essentially paying for marketing. So Etsy gets a lot of footfall essentially. There are a lot of people that just go on Etsy to search for gifts, and obviously if you work on your Etsy SEO, which is the search engine optimization, don't worry if you don't know what that means, we'll go into that, then if you're working really hard on your shop and you're getting good reviews and you know you're making sales and all of that, Etsy can be a brilliant platform to grow on because it already has a customer base. When you're building your own website, it can be really hard to do this. I personally advise anybody that asks me that I think Etsy is a very good platform to start with, and then once you build up your Etsy, why not open a website alongside it? I've had both now for coming up to a year maybe, and Etsy still does better than my website. So it's not something I would personally get rid of, but I do understand people's frustrations with it as well, because it's not like completely your own. But I do really recommend it, especially if you're just starting out. It's a brilliant platform. Hopefully something in this video resonated with you, and if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. I also have my own YouTube channel called Stand Together UK. You can message me over there or on Instagram. I'd be happy to help you guys out with any questions that you have. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely let us know. Drop us a like and a subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos, and other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.